Alright, today on Whiskey Wheels and Wrenching, working on the YJ, we're going to take a look at this speedometer and try to figure out why it's not working. Now, there's really only two probable causes. One, it's the gauge, which is the worst probable cause because the gauge is all one unit. So we don't want it to be that because then we have to buy a whole new dash gauge setup cluster thing. The other thing is the speed sensor, which connects to the transmission. Hopefully we can just unplug that, clean it up, put it back together, which I mean, it's just a plug, that's all it is. And hopefully that'll fix the problem. So either A, it's the speedometer itself, or B, it's the speedometer sensor on a transmission. Hopefully it's just a dirty connector. Let's see.
This here's Wheels and Wrenching. Whiskey, Wheels and Wrenching. And this here's Jim Bob. Right now you're watching Whiskey, Wheels and Wrenching.
Alright, this right here is that speed sensor we were talking about. So we're going to pop that thing off there, and hopefully that's the only problem. It's got a little latch up on top there. There's no way I'm doing that with one hand, so I'll get back to you whenever I get it off. There you can see, pops off pretty easy. Looks kind of clean. On the outside don't look so clean, but we're going to spray it here with some contact cleaner, and hopefully, well, you got to make sure you close your eyes. You don't want to get that stuff in your eyes, it would kill you. I mean, it wouldn't kill you, but it would burn real bad. Alright, spray the other end, put it back together, and take it for a ride. Okay, so I'm playing with this speedometer sensor here, this speed unit sensor. I don't know what the hell it's called. What is it called? Sensor, capture, I don't know what it is. But I took it out of the transmission, and let me show you how it comes out here. It's up there. Yeah, I forgot how to get my other arm in here. Oh, it's a little tricky down here when it's not up anywhere. Anyways, this comes out. Came out like that. The only problem with that coming out like that is that this piece is still in here. This like that. That's the gear. That tells you how fast you're going. But that is supposed to be in the end of that thing, and I don't have any more hands. So I need to figure out how to do this. Yeah, that is supposed to actually be up in there. Okay, there. It's supposed to be up in there like that. Come on. Focus. Focus. Anyway, it's supposed to be up in there like that. So I took a drill and I put it on the end of there and gave it a little spin around with the key turned on to see if the speedometer would move. The speedometer didn't move. So I'm hoping that just the sensor here, not this part, but just this back piece, this white piece right here, hopefully just that part is bad. So I bought a new sensor. We're going to get that hooked up and hopefully that fixes it. Alright, so here's the old one with the gear on it. That comes out. Now if you were going to change the tire size to go up big tires and all that stuff, you'd have to change this because that way the speedometer would read the right speed. But this here we need to get apart because this here is the new piece that goes inside that housing. Now, for some odd reason, this plug here, the new one, does not fit the old one. So we got to cut the wires and splice this in. The wires are colored the same, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. They even give you shrink wrap here. So let's get it apart and put it together and see what happens. Issue number 503. This here has threads into here, goes through here. But for some reason, whenever you spin this, it's spinning inside there. So it's no good. So I'm going to take the grinder, cut that head off, just to get the two apart. And then hopefully we can run a smaller bolt and nut through there to hold it together. Who knows? Alright, it's not the prettiest, but we got her apart. So this piece here, this one here is the piece we got to change. So just out of curiosity, right before I put the new one on, I'm going to hook this back up and spin it again with the drill. Just out of curiosity, see what happens. Alright, this old one didn't work. So now we're going to have to hook this one up. But first, we're going to figure out how to get that thing there, that what's left of a bolt, out of there, so we can put a smaller bolt nut in there, put those pieces together. Get that old piece out. Where's that? Right there. Got that thing out of there. Got the new piece put together. Gonna run a bolt through there. Do that if I can do it without falling. Come on. There. Run a bolt through like that. Put a nut on it. Put it back in place. Alright, next thing to do is to get rid of that old plug. Put this new plug in. Luckily, they made the colors the same, so they match up. So I cut that one off, spliced the new one on using some splicers, some good electrical tape, and they gave us some shrink wrap thingies. So let's get that put in place. Oh, nothing better than working above your head underneath a old rusty Jeep. Damn it. So I'm burying these wires under here, and I come across something. I don't know if you can see it, but look. This wire here has got some problems to it. That could be some of our problem. Yeah. Cut that off behind that, so we're using good wire. Get this new wire in place. Alright, we got it hooked up there. All the new wire, new sensor. Got that thing on there. We hooked the drill to it. And, where's that? Did that thing to it. And the speedometer went up to 100 miles an hour. So, apparently, that was the problem. So, I get this drop back in there. Make sure you put the that thing there back on there. Holds it in place. And we got the speedometer working. Alright. Well, it worked. Kind of sucked to do, but most jobs do. Tomorrow, we're going to get rid of these old wheel flares. Put some new oversized ones on. Because there ain't a lot of room with these big tires on it. What else is there? Still going to put a light in for the turn signal for an indicator switch because it ain't got no indicator light. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, as you can see, these tires, they're pretty close there. Don't look so bad on that side. But once you come around to this side, you can see that one's right up against there. It's actually starting to rub it a little bit away. Same with that, so I'm going to replace those, get some bigger ones on there. What else was there? Oh, the windshield wipers. Still got to figure that out, because they don't want to return to where they're supposed to sit. So, yeah, get to it, figure it out.